All right, I'm back in Loop Hero, and I made a little bit more progress. I've actually unlocked the Rogue, and I might have now that I've beaten the Lich twice, I think I might actually be ready to move on to the next level. Is that what you call them? I'm really not sure. Folks in the chat have been playing Loop Hero themselves on their own. Cloudcraft actually has been playing it my entire stream, and Jedi Psychitrix has been playing it too. So they're probably going to have some good advice for me. One thing that they've both been pointing out is that one reason they love Loop Hero is because you can play it while doing other things. Like I said, Cloudcraft has been playing it while listening to my stream, and I've been doing that too. Actually, I've had Loop Hero going in the background while I catch up with my daily YouTube videos and things like that. So yeah, so I've built a few things or whatever. But what's really interesting is the opportunity to move on to the next enemy and to try out being a rogue for the first time. So let's see here. Okay, so this character doesn't get vampirism at all, but they have criticals. And they don't get regeneration either. Oh, interesting. Okay. And we get boots. We don't get rings, but we do get boots. Okay, so that'll be interesting. In Chapter 2, enemies have 1 to 2 abilities. Compared to Chapter 1, enemies... apparently, I've been fighting enemies with reduced strength, and now I won't be. But I can carry more of resources back. Okay, that's cool. And then another thing that... So Cloudcraft was suggesting that Chrono Crystals plus Meadows was pretty powerful. I think I need to collect a fair amount of wood, so I don't want to keep the groves and the blood groves here. But maybe I'll just take a... Well, battlefields are so good for collecting resources, too. The ruins so far haven't been that interesting to me, so I'm gonna switch to Chrono Crystals. We're going to try Chrono Crystals plus Meadows. And we're going to definitely do more Vampires plus Villages, because that's fun. And then, okay. Cloudcraft is encouraging me to read the Rogue class description. Can receive trophies after killing enemies in battle and exchange them for equipment in the camp. Oh, interesting. It has 5%. Oh, always has 5% vampirism from the start. 10% bonus for any effect for every equipped item with the same effect. Oh, okay. So this character can min-max better. So if I get multiple items with the same effect, I get additional of that effect. So I've already been kind of min-maxing a lot with my warrior, so it'll be interesting to see the rogue get an even greater advantage from that. Cloudcraft says, I don't like using the rogue without the arsenal unlocked. I'm pretty sure I do not have the arsenal unlocked. I think I'm getting there. I think that's one of the reasons I want to collect a bunch of wood. Or maybe it was scrap metal I was short on. Anyway, let's start with some base. Oh, I also don't get shields. I can't... Oh, so it gives me a shield because that's just what that particular building does. The smithy gives me a shield, but I can't actually use the shield as the rogue. But I get 2 weapons, and so I get, like, basically I can double up on weapon-style bonuses. I wonder, do my weapon damage values stack with each other for my overall damage? Cloudcraft says, wait, this is your first time with the rogue and your first time on the second stage? You're gonna die. Sure. I'm not, gonna doubt that. I'm probably gonna die. I'm gonna stick that vampire right there. Okay, let's start building some rocky stuff right there. And let's grab a grove. I think, yeah, let's put the grove there. The tank says, it's fitting since I'm going to die. It's fitting that this thing looks like a mushroom cloud. What the heck? Okay, hold on. What happened? Okay, so it says in camp. It doesn't mean when I go back after the expedition. It means in camp here. So so instead of collecting loot just randomly as we go, I get a bunch of loot at once when I return home? Weird and interesting. Okay, well, let's increase our critical damage. Let's put on some boots. These are boots of evasion, evasion, evasion. Evasion! Evasion. Oh, even more evasion. And crit damage, more hit points. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Oh, wait, and the Treasury. So... yeah, let's put the Treasury there. Let's meadow it up. And put a mountain right there. Cloudcraft suggests another note on Rogue. I highly recommend turning on the option to auto-pause when you reach camp. I didn't know that was an option. Why in particular with the Rogue? It seems like that would be equally useful for any class. Alright, take that, slimes. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so I'm just piling up trophies. So this number just keeps going up. But eventually that's going to turn into a bunch of garbage once I get back to camp. Alright, we're going to make a battlefield with blood clots in it. And more forest. Oh, Cloudcraft is just saying that it's for convenience when I come back to camp with my rogue, he's always gonna need a bunch of stuff, so why not just auto pause? Okay, so it's not like something terrible is gonna happen if I don't. It's just got it. Okay, so we got our first Chrono Crystal. So the thing about Chrono Crystals is they double up daily effects. So that means, for instance, I might want to put a Chrono Crystal here next to a thing that generates chests. And then I can put a meadow by it, or even two, and the meadows will also heal me for twice as much. So Cloudcraft also says the rogue is more fragile. Since he doesn't have a shield, my defense is never going to get as high. So basically, I'm going to be more likely to want to cut and run with a rogue than I am with a warrior. And so that's another reason to pause it when I get to the camp. Well, that makes sense. Oh, what are you? Swarm of bats? Repellent squeak? So people's attacks are to get interrupted? Okay, this is going very badly for me. So I guess that because I'm in Chapter 2, that's why a swarm of bats appears sometimes around a vampire? Alright, let's start placing these rocks around. Okay, I'm going to be very happy to get back to base. And happy to have a day pass as well. Okay. So I just tried to manually pause when I'd already set it to auto pause, so that had the opposite effect. Alright, let's see what we got here. So, much more powerful weapon. I'll lose a critical damage, but I don't think it's... Oh, what's this one, though? Evasion, and damage to all, and defense. Yeah, this thing feels pretty important. More evasion. This is like the most evasion. This one also gives me magic damage. Again, I'm not dead. Cloudcraft, have you figured out exactly what magic damage does? It feels like it's... I think it was just overcoming enemy defenses. That was the guess that the chat had before. This one has the most evasion. So I feel like it might be worthwhile. Cloudcraft says he hasn't figured out all the stats either. All right, we'll go with that because it's got the most evasion. Again, doubling up on stats seems really good for this character. Okay, so it looks like it didn't actually... I expected it to generate 2 chests. Oh, no, but that's not a daily effect. It's a loop effect. I forgot it. Dang. I forgot that the effect of a battlefield was loop, not daily. So, never mind. All right, so once I build more villages here, this vampire will cover them all, but it won't cover this one. So let's put another vampire there. Presuming I get to put another village here, we'll see what we roll. Or draw, I suppose. And then... let's go... meadow? Meadow. Right there. Okay, so I can do another one of these. I'm trying to remember. So there's no daily effect from villages, right? That's just an effect from passing through. Let's see here. So this spawns goblins once a day. Do I want to fight more goblins? Well, the real thing I want is a meadow right there that is doubled. So yeah, I'm going to double the goblins. I think goblins tend to just fill up over time anyway. Like, it might not make a difference. I'll probably end up having to fight more of these rat wolf things. I'm doing better than I did last time. My character might be about to die, though. Let's give them as much health as we possibly can. Eventually. Okay. Let's see some crits. Come on. You can do it. Just got to get through this one. I think one more before this will be a fancy, fancy village. Man, the amount of wheat fields that just, like, pile up in my deck. Yeah, Cloudcraft, I do know about the big mountain. The reason I'm delaying it is because I want to build it out of rocks, and so I can keep the mountains with their +5s. Yeah, the problem I'm having with excessive wheat fields is it's frequent enough that it feels like it's not intentional, right? It feels like this is not how they actually wanted it to go. So there's a bunch of groves. Let's put another treasury right there. And another meadow. And a meadow. Jedi Cytric says, oh, dang, I never even thought to build the big mountain out of rocks. That was actually a suggestion from, what was that viewer's name? Fatty McCool, I think was his name. He made that suggestion. I think that was a really good one. Okay, let's have that one. Have the Blood Grove. All right. Okay. Again, I tried to manually pause, and the Cloudcraft, the auto pause is screwing me up. I can't do it. Okay, we got a much fancier weapon now. Significantly more damage. Actually, which one do I want to replace? This one does less damage, but it's got the evasion bonus. Oh, but here's a 6. Oh, man. Okay, I think I might have to sacrifice the evasion bonus to get both of my weapons up to 6. This one. Okay, so it would do less critical damage and just a bunch of other stats. It's hard to beat the critical damage, but getting critical damage from more places is actually more valuable anyway. Okay, let's do that. Let's see how this goes. Well, if I don't hit them at all, Doesn't matter how much damage I do. Oh, Cloudcraft points out, and I think this is true, that pausing and unpausing could definitely use more obvious changes. Because basically, what it does is it closes this little eye at the top. I very frequently don't realize that I've got the game paused or unpaused. So, I think it's very likely that I'm actually going to have to just bug out without finishing this this loop because my character's already doing badly. Whoa, each 10% of lost HP gives you a chance to deal massive damage? Oh, and max XP is increased by 1 for each received trophy. That's a long-term one. I don't think I'm going to last that long. 10% chance to simultaneously attack 2 targets. You know what? Let's go for that instant crazy damage thing. Unfortunately, it's not listed here, so I can't keep track of that ability. I got to look at it up here, I guess. Or, I don't know where I review my stats. I should probably start focusing on the treasuries, because if I'm going to have to bug out soon, I want them to be done. I don't care much about this beacon's normal effect. Oh, actually, you know what? I should have put the blood grove down here to get its benefit everywhere. This is not going to go well. Oh my gosh! Hit something! Okay. There's no way we're making it any further. So let's complete that treasury. I don't think there's much else I can do here. I don't know. Yeah, there's no way I'm making it through that goblin fight with 5 hit points. So we got to clear out. We'll keep some stuff. It'll be fine. Okay, let's do this again. Same setup. So because this game has got so many random inputs into it, it's really hard to know if I'm just like failing, you know, for reasons of my own choices, or I need to get better at the strategy, or if I need to level up stuff, or if it was just a bad roll. So I feel like I need to play a couple of rounds with the rogue in this area and just sort of see what I kind of can expect. It may be that what I need to do is bump back down to Chapter 1, spend some time building up, you know, with more productive loops, building up my base, and then come back. Let's do the big mountain right there. Aha! Want that right there. With a couple of meadows. Zombie Brave Knights in there making building mountains out of rock puns. It's great. So, and Jedi Psytrix has joined in. Alright, more rocks. More meadows. Beacon. Why not? I don't actually care if I go much faster, so... Collected a fair amount of loot here. I like the idea that I'm guaranteed to get a nice bonanza of loot, because that was the most frustrating thing with the Warriors sometimes. I just get this very, very slow distribution of loot, and just not feel like I'm not making any progress for a long period of time. Having these nice little bursts of loot where I'm almost guaranteed to have something that levels up what I've already got. It feels pretty nice. Let's meadow that. Aha! Okay, so definitely grabbing the magic one. Almost don't care what it does. Crit damage chance. Defense. Boots at all. Oh wait. Oh, interesting. It's showing both the... Notice on the damage flyout for the axe, it says that 11 to 17 is both better and equal to what's above. I wonder why it does that. It might just be a bug. All right. Stretch. Yes, take this, slime. And also that. All right, let's place a village here. Let's place a grove. I don't know. Here. Let's fight some ghouls. Chrono crystals. Huh. What daily effects do I actually want to make more powerful? So I'm trying to think of where to place it, where I think if I put it here, then I can get 2 different meadows attached to it. So maybe that's what I want to do. Wow, the puns will just not... I'm not repeating any of your puns. I don't want to hurt my my asynchronous audience. Okay, time to fight the big fight. But, like, the whole village vampire combo thing is probably one of my favorite things in this game that they decided to do. Where it's like, I have to go through 3 really tough fights, but then the village gets much better. And so you can make this, like, powerhouse healing station, basically. But first you have to survive a whole bunch of craziness. Alright, so grab a meadow here. And a mountain there. Healing up, but not by enough. Okay, so critical damage 30%. Okay, these both give me critical damage. That gives me critical damage chance, but okay, so this is critical damage plus 30. Let's do another plus 30. And then I've got some extra on there, I guess, because of the rogue stacking stuff. And then I think more hit points will probably be more valuable. And I think we're good. More meadow. More rock. All right. Battlefield. So, the rock puns just keep coming, and I keep laughing at them but not wanting to repeat them. You people. All right, now we can take a nice, long, leisurely stroll around this uneventful part of the loop. I guess, you know what, we've got speed controls, right? I think this is my second one of these, right? This is not looking super good for my character. I'm just not doing a ton of damage unless I crit. Oh, okay. I got one of these. Hold on. I don't think the rogue gets the really nice hit point protection thing that the warrior gets. Oh, my counters can turn into robberies, except I don't have any counter with this current build. Increasing hit points with trophies. Tempting. Oh, I can use Oblivion cards like crazy and heal myself. Oh, man. But I have to get rid of stuff to heal myself. No. I'm going to go for this one and hope I even just survive this battle, which I probably won't anyway. Wow. Wow. Wow, this rogue is weak. Oh my gosh, they're just the puns are just still happening. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna switch back. We're gonna back up and use the rogue in chapter 1 and see if that's any more successful. So Yoda says, so from what I understand, the game plays itself. The fights when the player goes around the loop, gets loots when it completes a loop. All the player does is placing stuff around the loop for bonuses. Yeah, basically, yeah. It's almost like I was treating it like it's almost the inverse of a normal roguelike, where in a normal roguelike, you control your character's actions, and there's a procedurally generated world for you to explore. But in this game, it's almost the opposite. There's your character's actions are all procedurally generated, and you are manually creating the world from randomly selected pieces. But still, yeah. So it's almost like someone took a roguelike and just turned it around backwards, where I'm the one who is procedurally generating the world, and the character is the one that's on autopilot. And a mountain. So I'm hoping. So the thing that I didn't actually pay attention to was whether the enemies start at like a more powerful level, like more than just that little 5%. Like, is this? It could be that I'm just gonna be bad with the rogue no matter what I do. Let's see here. Yeah, let's generate wolves more quickly. So I am a little bit confused about the value of beacons. Because beacons make me progress more quickly. But does that actually help me in any way? I mean, I guess it means that I would get to enemies before they've had a chance to become more numerous. But it also means I get to them before I've had a chance to heal. Like, I don't know if there's actually a real benefit to having these in places, or if it's just, I don't know, for my own convenience, just like getting through the game faster. Surreal Diagonals has, first time I've seen this game, very interesting concept. Yeah, that's a lot of what I like about this game, is just the fact that it's doing something so weird. You know? Not paying any attention to you, Zombie Brave Knight. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten a village. Like, you want to get villages early on so that you can place them by vampires and deal with them while they're still easier to fight. I was hoping I would get a village during this first round, but it looks like that's not actually happening. However, I did get a bunch of weapons. Let's just grab both of these magic level 2s. It's level 3. Oh, it does significantly more damage, though. These are stacking up counter, though. I think I'm going to keep that because they stack up. Okay, because plus 9%, plus 12%. So that is, yeah, so it's plus basically 21%. So it should add it to 21, but it's 23 because it's adding another. Okay, so that's the thing I wanted to know. Was it going to add a flat 10% on top of that 23%? But no, it adds 10% of that 23%. So it goes from 21 up to 23 because it added 2%. So, okay, so the stacking bonuses are not that huge. Let's put some boots on. And then this guy with his increased defense. And we're good. And here we go. Let's loop faster. I'm going to be pausing to do stuff anyway, so might as well loop faster. Anywhere great to put a meadow? Not super great. I'll put one right there. A crit that almost takes an enemy down. Just not as valuable. Okay, now you're really pushing it with the puns there, Tank. Give me a village game. Where is my village? So Yoda wants to know what the rocks and mountains are for. So each time you place a rock or a mountain, I believe each time you place a rock, you get an extra 2 hit points. Each time you place a mountain, I think the mountains don't have their own. Yeah, okay, so they don't. So each rock just gives you hit points straight up. And if they're adjacent to other rocks, they give you more. Mountains don't give you anything straight up. They have to be adjacent to something to give you more. But if they are adjacent, they give you a bigger bonus than the rocks do. Also, if you get 9 of them in a block, it turns into a giant peak, which has its own additional benefits. Okay, so now let's look through my new loot. Ooh, 4. It raises attack speed instead of counter, but the stacking bonuses aren't that exciting anyway, so it's okay. Don't want to go down in max HP. Yeah, I don't think any of the rest of this is... Oh, wait. Oh, no, this is... It's enough evasion. I kind of want to go for it, so let's do that. And we've opened our chests. We're collecting... So, okay, so the goal, by the way, for anyone who's coming in new to this game, the goal of this loop is for me to collect as many of these resources as I can so that I can take them back to my home and build stuff, which makes me more powerful, which means next time I come back to this loop, I'll be in better shape. So it's that sort of classic roguelite structure where, you know, each playthrough is different because of procedural generation, and then on top of that, you know, you get to sort of like, there's a meta level where you're leveling things up further. There's a lot of random stuff going on. Like, for instance, right now, I was kind of banking on the idea that I was going to get some village tiles I could place over here and start leveling up the village tiles by having them be next to the vampires. But I just keep not drawing villages. And if I don't draw villages, that whole plan falls apart. Eventually I'll get a village, but it'll be too late, and I'll be able to place them here, and the fights that I have to go through to level up those villages is just going to get much harder. And I'm getting these wheat fields that I can't place unless I have villages. Oh, it's so frustrating. So Surreal Diagonal asks, do the cards that I'm placing have to do with the resources collected? Yes. For instance, when I place a grove and my character walks through the grove, my character gets wood. That's actually why I put grove in my deck. You can actually build your deck however you want, within limits. So this grove, I've got it because I know I need wood. And so every time my character passes through this, they get wood. And also, like, when you place some of these like outer terrain tiles that have to be placed away from the path, I think those will often give you resources directly. So some things give you resources when you interact with them. Sometimes you get resources by fighting enemies. Like, and some of these things, they generate, like this right here, it generates enemies, which I then can fight to get resources. And then something give you resources when you place them. Each tile's kind of got its own weird different rules. And now, because of I built the gymnasium back at my base, I periodically, as I fill up this meter, I get to choose a trait for my character. Oh, okay, so I can get more loot for fighting against large groups of enemies. Oh, I've got a build that actually does counter enemies, so now I can steal resource shards. And then lowers the quantity of items received on the camp tile by 3 while increasing the quality. You know what? I'm going to go with that. I want to have higher quality gear, and I'm about to land at my camp anyway. Okay, yeah. That did increase the quality. So, okay, unfortunately, okay, I'm glad I didn't bank on countering being my thing, because I just lost my counter ability, but I gained more of an evasion bonus and some attack speed. You know, and there's also like synergies between different tiles. Like, for instance, if you put 2 battlefields, like each battlefield that overlaps the road, it just makes chests. But if 2 battlefields overlap the same road, they create this bloody track that makes these sort of blood monsters attack you. And then you fight the blood monsters, and the blood monsters give you loot. Oh, I got a village. Okay, let's pause and place this. Okay, so let's place this village here. It's going to be hard to fight. In fact, it's not going to be useful until like the 7th loop, so maybe this is a bad plan, but whatever. I also want to place a meadow. Where's a good place for a meadow? I'll put one here, because eventually I'll be placing like mountains and stuff there. Let's finish our mountain peak. So now that gives me a big hit points bonus, and also gives me adjacency bonuses like that. But it means it starts producing harpies, which are tough to fight enemies. Oh, now that I've got a village, I need to place 2 of these wheat fields on either side of it to make it more powerful, and also to generate scarecrows for me to fight. Zombie Brave Knight asks, is there a amount you have to go around to win the loop? Okay, so what happens is every time I place a card, there's a meter behind my head here that fills up. When I fill up this meter by playing enough cards, a boss shows up here at camp, usually around 7 loops. It can vary, and you can delay it by not playing cards, but normally it's around 7 loops. And so basically, so you have about 7 loops to go around here before you fight the boss. Then after you fight the boss, you can actually stick around as long as you want. It keeps getting harder and harder, and you can keep getting more resources. But yeah, but that's sort of how it's limited. But yeah, you have to beat the boss in order to win, but you can also, like, anytime you're at camp, you can just leave with all your resources. Like, you don't actually have to play all the way through to the boss. If you're having kind of a rough time with a given playthrough with a given character, you can just decide to leave, and that's totally permissible. This right here is a treasury. If I place things around it, each time I place something next to it, I get an extra resource, and then if I place things all the way around it, it gives me this giant pile of resources all at once. So I'm actually kind of nervous about this loop. My character has been killed recently, and wasn't a good time. Okay, so I'm going to finish that treasury. Big dump of resources. Oh, okay, second village. Why not? I mean, and then you know what? We've already got enough to deal with. Let's oblivion these extra buildings that are creating more enemies here. I don't need more enemies. I've already got the ghouls. And then, so these tiles increase daily effects. I don't really want to do anything with this right now. Except, well, you know what? I'll just put it somewhere where I don't have significant enemies. And then I'll put a meadow by it, because meadows like to be next to things. Meadows give you more resources when they're next to things. Okay, I think we're good. More meadow. Yeah, I think this idea of placing meadows next to the chrono crystals is a good one. I wish that I had more. What am I trying to say? Let's Place that there. I wish I had more things that I actually wanted to do with those crystals. Like, there's nothing else that I actually want to increase its frequency of. The frequency of. A silver pendant. Ooh, so yeah, I'm collecting stuff. I'm not sure exactly what the stuff is for. I think I take it back to base for some purpose. Okay, daily healing coming up. Didn't feel like a lot. Okay, I managed to get through this fight. Let's pause for a second. I've got some magic boots. It'll give me counter, but reduce my evasion. This will not do. This is not as powerful as my existing weapon. Okay, none of these are upgrades. I gotta wait till I get to the camp, probably, to get any decent upgrades. Somebody needs to use a printer. Meadow. Put a meadow there. So I'm gonna have to fight a bunch of these ghouls. I've got no idea how this is gonna go. I might end up losing the character. We'll see. When you lose, when you like get killed, then you get to go back home with 30% of your resources. If you run away on purpose, you get home with 60%. But if you get to your camp, if you either win, the boss fight, or if you get to your camp safely and decide to depart from your camp, you get to bring everything back. So I'm going to put down as many things as I can to help my character heal. The day still progresses while you're fighting. So that means that my character might actually heal during this battle from the daily cycle. Oh, hey, I need to quickly mute myself. All right, I'm back. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me explain what happened real fast. So sorry. Thank you for using those emojis to get my attention. I'm so glad I created those. Here's what happened. Apparently, hitting the spacebar in OBS mutes you or something. I had no idea that was the case. So what I did was, I popped over to OBS, I clicked the mute button, and then when I tried to hit the spacebar to pause or unpause the game, I not only failed to pause the game, which was a thing I was reacting to. I don't even know if my dialogue went through when I was explaining what was going on with my failure to pause the game. But I also was muting myself with the spacebar. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta turn off that hotkey. I have no interest in muting myself with the spacebar in OBS. That's nonsense. I should put it on my Stream Deck, though. I should put a muting button on my Stream Deck. But, oh my gosh. Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody, for getting my attention. That emoji was very, very helpful. I glanced over. I was like, why are there so many Jeffrey's not reading the chat emojis? And that's why, because I was muted. Okay, so anyway, sorry about that. But yeah, so the other thing I was saying was, and I don't know if this came through or not, probably not. Cloudcraft had encouraged me to auto pause at the camp, and I changed it because I kept sort of manually unpausing it out of habit. But the fact that I actually didn't have control over the game the last time I passed the camp was a big problem, because I didn't have auto pause turned on. My character just carried right around, and I actually was not feeling like I could handle another round with this character. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So, more mountains, more rocks, right there. More chrono crystals. I mean, sure. Do you want to fight more scarecrows? Why not? And, yeah, just... Sure. I'll put that there. And another chrono crystal on the corner. Ready to receive meadows, and I'll do that too. Why not? Oh, so Gior was asking why I muted myself in the first place. Like, did I have a phone call or something? No, you probably heard the printer running in the background. My wife had to come and print something out for my kids. And usually if a member of my family needs to come into the office to grab something, I turn off the camera and I mute because I don't want them to feel like they have to be on camera. You know, I enjoy being on camera. That doesn't mean that everyone else in the world does. So let's add another healing village without a million ghouls. Okay, my character is actually holding their own surprisingly well. Man, it's killing me that I was muted for so long. I'm sorry that I wasn't paying attention to the chat. That would have saved me much, much faster. I feel like maybe what I'm going to do is when I put this up on YouTube, I'll probably put a card at the top of the screen that says, you know what? I'll probably have to chapter it out. Or maybe tell people what time code to skip to hear my voice again. Because that's annoying to sit there and try to watch somebody. Oh, here comes the boss. Am I ready for the boss? I think emphatically the answer is no. No, I am not. Let's see if I can run home without facing the boss. There's no way I'm ready. I mean, my hit points are just such a disaster. And I'm about to fight these ghouls. I mean... Yeah, if I'd gotten villages early and these were just turned into, like, peaceful villages with, like, more powerful healing effects, this would have been a good run, probably. But, no. There's absolutely no way I'm surviving the boss battle. So, I guess I'll just play some more stuff in case things give me resources. I forget what gives me resources sometimes, so I just place everything when I'm getting towards the point where I'm planning on escaping. Alright, place some more meadows, because why not? Okay, so we have to, like, we're going to watch this icon down here. Okay, we have not yet reached the boss, but we're going to escape. and take our stuff with us. Okay. Okay, so Zombie Brave Knight pointed out that Cloudcraft actually had some good advice about the crystals before I muted myself and had that giant disaster. So let's see. Cloudcraft says, I use the crystals to boost enemy spawn rates early on so I can get cards faster sometimes. Okay, I can see that. Because the number of enemies you fight increases the number of cards, and so later on in the game, when like every enemy is deadly, that can be a problem. But early on, when you're not really scared of them, that actually is a good idea. And then he says also scarecrows damage all enemies around them, so boosting their spawn rate when their spawners next to the wheat fields can make those fights easier. Interesting. Okay, so one thing I've been doing, one assumption I've been making was that, I always want to be efficient, right? And so, I always have been, putting, Wheatfield Village, Wheatfield Village, Wheatfield Village, and just making this giant run of villages. Maybe I'm doing that wrong. Maybe, actually, the reason they're giving me so many wheat fields is a hint that, I should not be stacking all of my villages and wheat fields together. What I should be doing instead is spreading my villages out across the map so I can have more opportunities to heal at different points, and those scarecrows could actually help me with other fights. Putting, Grove, Wheatfield, Village, Wheatfield. That could mean that when the sort of rat wolves come out, they could share space with scarecrows, and the scarecrows could be bothering everyone. That's a really good idea. Now let's see if I've actually built up enough to get... So I can pick up a crypt if I want to try the necromancer. That's an option. What else is an option? The mud hut houses only one person. Every residence brings you closer to victory. Build more houses. So I can just add a house? Okay, I don't know. I don't understand what the house is for. Then the smelter... Okay, this unlocks the Arsenal Golden card. If the Intel Center is built. What's the Intel Center? It's up here. Okay, so Cloudcraft was suggesting that the Arsenal is something I want. And this also gives me a Storm Temple card. Okay, so I don't know what any of this is. It also gives me plus 30 to base HP, so that seems good. Let's grab the smelter. And build it here, I guess. Yo-ho-ho! What a nice smelting barrel. Throw in some more coal. Scrap metal away. Hey, lad, you know what the secret of sturdy armor? It's a sturdy body beneath it. Ha-ha! I can make everything sturdier. Even a simple shirt or some socks. Which do you prefer? You'll travel far under a sail like this. No storm will stop you. And you know why? Because the storm will be on your side, laddie. I don't know what any of that means. I don't know what the Storm Temple is for. Okay, so Cloudcraft says that the house is just for the storage slots, and he asked me, do I understand how storage works? No. No, I do not understand how storage works. Oh. I can upgrade the field kitchen. And it gives it more item? The camp has more item slots. What does that mean? Okay, it says click the supply option. Cloudcraft is suggesting that I click supply on the menu. Camp supply menu. Okay, so... Oh, so I can... Oh, these are further upgrades that I can slot these things. Okay, so the brass candlesticks, they can go in the jewelry slot. And so this increases my damage by 5% when I'm in range of a road lantern or a beacon. Okay, so suddenly the road lanterns and beacons mean more than they have historically. Okay, this raises my hit point regeneration. And this... Okay, so I have lower base hit points, but I get more for the... So I start with lower health, but I gain it more over time, I think. Is that just healing that I do? Or is it actually raising my max? And then this... Well, minus damage from vampires seems valuable. This mirror... Oh, it can only go in the bottom too. This one... Redirect lightning from the Storm Temple. Or magical attack to a random enemy. Interesting. I'll save that one. But yeah, let's just see what this effect is like, putting these beds down. Okay, interesting. So I don't feel hungry for storage slots, so I don't think I need to build another house. But actually, this would mostly give me another supply slot too. Is that the only thing it does? Oh, and it adds to the campfire's healing power. So yeah, let's upgrade that too, so my campfire heals more. Congratulations, hero! These new cauldrons will make life better, not just for you, but for the whole camp. You can write down a new recipe to celebrate. Mix 4 chopped potatoes, half a grated cheese wheel, a pot of sour cream, and then bake for an hour. Only fried eggs are easier to cook than this. Is that like they actually want me to go cook that? Sounds like, I don't know, Feast of Fiction might have another episode to make here. Interesting. Okay, yeah, so Cloudcraft says as I, like, sort of level up my buildings and stuff, I get more slots to slot more crap into. And now I can also craft things if I want to. Like, oh, for instance, I've got enough food and change to craft more meat. And some stew. Oh, this increases the effects of villages. Okay, yeah, let's slot those in. So, more daily healing, more... What? Oh, wait. Once something's in, I can't remove it? And this... Or do I have to put it on top of something else? So I assumed that the meat... The stew would land where the meat did, but I guess it lands as... jewelry? Or I'm not understand. Oh, Cloudcraft says right click to remove it. What? Do I have an overall supply limit that I'm hitting? Is that why everything's suddenly locked? Can I only have 6 items right now? Huh. Okay, well, good to know that I've got a total limit. I think I'd rather have more meat then than more beds, so I'll go with that. All right, fascinating. Well, we're also done with this session, so the question is, do I want to try to play something else, or should I just play more Loop Hero right now? Because we just changed a bunch of things, just unlocked a bunch of stuff. We should probably keep playing Loop Hero. Okay, so let's go to the end screen. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel and see more really awkward videos where I'm muted a bunch of the time, you can subscribe. I'm going to go play more Loop Hero, and when that video's done, it's going to be here. So go and do that. Hopefully, I won't mute myself this time.